Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, and New Japan, and everything in between. I am your host, James J. As always, with Kaliko Yachts.
Moving is a bitch. I don't care what nobody else say. Tequila in hand, ready to get all this stress out. How y'all doing today, internet peoples?
And Mitch Mayhem.
Pipe in my hand, but I'm still fucking stressed out like motherfucker. What's up, everybody?
And Scooter Dust, who is not with us tonight. But it is a great day for wrestling, everybody. And
Surprising. Surprising days for wrestling, I must admit.
Coming out earlier this week, Baylay was topped the PWI 100 best women of wrestling this week.
Well, yeah.
That was the right call to make, right, Mitch?
Well, it's kind of no-brainer when you have like Becky Lynch and Charlotte both gone. Of course, she's gonna be the standout. Like, that's kind of a no-brainer to me. I mean, her and Asuka and a few others, but yeah.
What about you, Kaliko? You were most outspoken about Jon Moxley being number one for the men. So, is this okay with you, or do you have an opinion of this?
Well, after being pissed about them giving Moxley a nod over Adam Cole, honestly, this was the right call. I mean, she has the longest reign out of everyone on that list.
She's held the WWE together while Becky Lynch and Charlotte have been gone.
It also shows her being number one when you look at the top 20, and there are a plethora of women from the WWE on that fucking list. And shout out Thunder Rosa. She made the top 20. Congrats. But yeah, just like it just shows you the depth of the talent that women the WWE have when it comes to the women's division. The highest ranking AEW women's wrestler was Sheeta, which was, I mean, that's kind of obvious, but she was 7. So when you're looking at like, or 6? Was it 6?
Yeah, she was 6.
Okay. She was 6. But even then, like, that just tells you like how stacked it is, because Asuka made this list, Charlotte made this list, Sasha made this list, Io Shirai made this list, Rhea Ripley made this list. so that just tells you like, and that's top 20 that I just named, because I know they're all in the top 20. So that just shows you the depth that they have with their women's division, that their NXT / developmental women are in the fucking top 20.
Right. You know, the only problem I kind of had with it was that Thunder Rosa wasn't in the top 10. And I mean, she has been one of the best, most unexpected female wrestlers to break out this year, in my opinion.
Honestly, it's based from last year to a certain point. Thunder Rosa, next year, she should be top 10. For sure. If she's not top 10 next year, I could see your point. But I think the cutoff, because usually the cutoff is like from like the way that they have the cutoffs is weird.
Yes.
So if it was from like middle last year to middle this year, they kind of like caught her in the middle of her prime, if that makes sense. They caught her like right as she was starting to peak.
Right.
And so you would think next year she would have a better shot of top 10 than this year.
Another thing that came up yesterday, actually, Raw Underground is officially canceled.
Good.
I mean,
it was Jerry Springer wannabe bullshit 90s. Like they had no people to. It was just it was. They were throwing as much poo-poo against the wall and seeing what stuck. That's what I think.
What say you, Kaliko? Your thoughts on that overall Underground?
I mean, it didn't make no stars out of it, so it makes sense to get rid of it.
Hence why I say they threw shit at the wall and nothing stuck.
I mean, it was good in the beginning.
Was it though? Then, Babatunde?
I mean,
what the fuck is that?
With the
no, that's what I'm saying. When they were trying to like get somebody to get out of it, I could see the point, but once it got further and further in the background, that's when it lost me.
That big motherfucker Babatunde or whatever the hell his name is that they the first few Raw Undergrounds that they highlighted, he was a big looking motherfucker, scary looking motherfucker. They could have done something with him, but they didn't.
I mean, the bouncer got more airtime though,
they
right?
They didn't proceed, like they didn't introduce this character into the main roster. They just like wet fart in church kind of thing.
That was the problem. They didn't transition it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you on that one. There was no transition. Yeah, it was like, you're here, then what?
Like right, and that's why I say the reference throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, because they didn't have a plan, Clico. They didn't seem to know where they wanted to go direction-wise. They were just trying to see what they could get in, like what would come out of it, if anything at all. That's what I really believe that.
Wonder what happens with Shane after that thing.
I think there's a reason we haven't seen him.
Mitch, you clearly feel that there was a lot of problems with Raw Underground, and obviously there was. But if they were to implement some of those changes and maybe go into it with a better plan, would you like to see the return of Raw Underground?
No, because it was a half-baked idea. They were reaching for something to help with the ratings that were sagging and everything that's been happening since COVID. They were trying to come up with something to save the TV show ratings. That's not going to do it. They need to come up with something new, or something not necessarily new, but something done well that maybe they've done before or that fits within WWE storylines. Build some fucking characters per se. Do something, but be creative. The team, it's called creative for a reason, right? You be fucking creative.
Well, what about you, Kaliko?
I get all that, but I feel like this lays at the feet of Vince because he gets the last word. Because I feel like sometimes, we creative sometimes do get shit, and sometimes deservedly so. But I feel like that a lot of their ideas don't even make it to the TV.
Right, but the ideas that do get saying that's you're making a good point. But I feel like it's the other way around. The ideas they do get put out, but then you have the old man in the corner this is his toy box. He gets to say yay or nay on anything, and if he has an itch on his butt, it's his decision. And so a lot of good ideas have been scrapped that way. Yeah.
Next up, and after debuting, making his return last week, Lar Sullivan found himself in some hot water. He, how should I say this?
At least he didn't find himself in another guy. Ah!
He was maybe harassing or trying to convince a yoga lady online to send him, as he called them, booty pics.
I don't think he knows what he is sexuality-wise.
Maybe he's sexuality fluid.
I'm not shaming anyone. Hey, that's fine if so.
Is Lar Sullivan just a red flag every time he comes into WWE?
Seems to be an insurance risk to me.
I mean, you could make the case, and I wouldn't.
But I think there's also a reason why they haven't fired him yet. I think for anyone else, they would have fired him.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault him, but I mean, yeah, like he said, there's a reason he did.
There's a reason why they didn't fire him yet. For most other people, they would have already.
All right. And
Sure. Velveteen Dream is another one like that. Real quick, I'm shocked he hasn't been fired yet either.
And it's kind of rumored, but take it as you will, that Aaliyah Mysterio is actually on Vince McMahon's radar.
Oh, I've known that for a while.
Yeah.
That's obvious. Come on, man.
You think that this kind of kills Dominic's momentum because his sister kind of just swooped in there and kind of took over the feud for him, so to speak?
I just wish they brought in the right daughters of other wrestlers. I wanted to see Shaw Guerrero in WWE.
She's in AEW right now.
The daughter of Eddie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Isn't she in AEW?
I mean, she was in NXT for a minute.
NXT,
but she just never
character, and she was there for a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like.
I'm just saying, she never had a definitive role.
It's not the lack of effort.
Right. I'm just saying, WWE Creative didn't have anything for her at the time.
So, do you think that Aaliyah could be a star for WWE if they mold her the right way, Mitch?
No, nepotism. I think she's getting this because she's Ray's daughter. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is, right?
What about you, Kalika? Do you think that we might see Charlotte Flair and Aaliyah down the road?
It just depends because I mean we all said the same about Charlotte. Let's be honest. We did.
No, not true.
I'm talking about at the beginning. No.
I saw greatness coming in Charlotte because she was Ric Flair's fucking daughter.
No.
I saw something in her. I saw something in her.
You're missing the point.
I'm just saying I didn't.
That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that everyone's going to say what you said. Oh, she's X and X's daughter.
Let me say it in this way.
Now,
I've never seen her in another arena other than coming out as Ray's daughter on TV on Raw. On Raw or SmackDown. It was one of the two.
You can make the argument for Charlotte too. That's the same thing.
No, I knew of Charlotte before then. I knew who Charlotte was. I knew she was trading. I knew she was legit. I knew who Charlotte was already.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is,
I don't know who Aaliyah is. I just know that she's Ray's daughter. I haven't seen her I haven't seen her put any work in. I haven't seen her and none of that. I just know that she's here because she's Ray's daughter. That's all.
But you know that shit because we're into this shit. The general public's not gonna think that shit. No one's gonna think, oh yeah, I've seen her put in work. They're gonna think,
well,
she got it because she's Ray's daughter.
Aaliyah Mysterio pretty fucking frequently, and I'm just saying, people, not a lot of people are gonna care, but I don't think I think there's so much nepotism going on in this world. Rewarding it just makes it worse. So I don't try to reward it. I don't think it is what it is, but
I'd say let's see how it plays. That's me. Let's see where it goes. It could go great. It could go bad. But we can't definitively say good or bad right now because it's just started.
It's just, and I'm one of the some people feel certain people get handed things, But.
Fair enough. That'll conclude our news for right now. And we are wrestling with the WWE Draft 2020.
Is that actually going to happen?
Last week, our segment on the draft was one of our most viewed segments of the show of all time. So.
Oh, it was actually viewed? Huh.
Damn, Scooter.
Scooter, it's Mitch.
Damn, bitch. Damn, my bad. All of y'all, it's negative.
I'm bagging on myself, not James.
I'm negative. Hey, Mitch? Give us some credit. Give James some credit.
Give James all the credit in the world. If anything, I'm bagging on myself.
Mitch?
Give him credit.
Fuck you.
What? I said I wasn't bagging on you. I'm part of this show too, motherfucker.
So, Monday Night Raw was the second half of the draft, and a lot more people got drafted. So let's go through the first round. Drafted to Raw was The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. SmackDown got Women's Championship champion Baylay. Raw got Randy Orton. SmackDown got the Street Profits, and Raw got Charlotte Flair. Mitch, out of all those names, who stands out the most to you?
You just literally, it's like a dog hearing noises. This is what I just heard. Wah 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 wah. You got to repeat. I heard Charlotte at the end. Sorry.
Kaliko, did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, you go first, Kaliko.
Honestly, it went the way that you thought it would go. Honestly, I look forward more for, as far as potential, I would say the Street Profits, because the Street Profits they're going to a new landscape as the target. So to me, they have to prove on a whole nother brand that they're worth, that draft pick.
Real quick.
That's me.
Real quick. Okay, then, like, just to see the other side of that, theoretically, as of right now, like, who's the best? Not like who's going to be best in a year or so. Who's the best right now?
Who's the best right now?
Who would you pick right now?
Charlotte.
For that.
Charlotte.
There you go. That's what I'm asking.
Charlotte's the best.
Right. I'm inclined to agree with you. But
Charlotte's
she's injured right now, isn't she?
Yeah. No, she's just taking rest. Is she injured? She's injured and she's taking a leave. I know she's taking
she's been on the injured list since May or June.
But to me, when Charlotte comes back, it's going to scream Charlotte Asuka. But to me, the Street Profits are being elevated.
Right, but Street Profits aren't as vital as Charlotte is for the women's division yet.
True, but you can make the argument the Street Profits were literally the tag division on Raw. So now we got
them and the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, and with help from the Viking Raiders, you're right. So now without the Viking Raiders, it's up to them to prove that on SmackDown. That's why I say they have the potential.
You know what?
Because there's a whole plethora of tag teams that they could mix and mingle with, namely Cesaro and Nakamura, which I'm assuring they're going to get the first crack. So that's why I'm saying
actually a good matchup. Now I heard that.
So
I want to see that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, to me, they have the best potential, because on SmackDown they are the tag team. There's the division is built
real quick.
Like it's built around them.
I agree with you for the most part, and I was just gonna add to it. I think the funny thing is, I think it's gonna affect the Viking Raiders the most with them leaving. I think Viking Raiders won't be as popular anymore. We'll see.
Ivar's out with the injury.
Okay, well there you go. That's right.
So to me,
yeah, you're right.
To me, the Street Profits has the most to gain, because they're going into a situation where it's going to be built around them.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Versus like Charlotte and The Fiend and Orton, Raw is already kind of like a machine humming. The Street Profits could stand out more than they already have. That's why to me the Street Profits is the biggest potential. Because we already know who Charlotte is. We already know who The Fiend is. We already know who Bray is. They're already defined. The Street Profits are starting to define themselves. So this is their crystallizing moment as a tag team and carrying a division.
The name in this round that really stood out to me was Baylay. I would assume, she's the women's champion, longest reigning, number one on PWI right now. I would have thought that she may she may have been drafted on SmackDown on the first night, at least in the second or third round. But Sasha got drafted before Bayley did. You think that's maybe they're overlooking Bayley or underestimating Bayley?
I think that's by design because it gives something else Bayley to as a character to bitch about, and that's why I think it went that way because Sasha's going to be like, and you already know they're going to start that program, but the program can also add a layer of bitch. I was drafted before you, which signifies I'm better than you. So that's going to irk Bayley psychologically to try to prove that she's better because in the even though she's the champ, psychologically, even though she's the champ, and you could make an argument her record against Sasha has been pretty good. The way the crowd sees it or the fans see it is that Sasha is better than Bayley on so many levels. And that's because Bayley went through that goofy stage and really wasn't taken seriously. And Sasha always been like that revered as that great wrestler from day one versus Bayley who had to claw her way to where she is, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And in round 2, Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, and Jeff Hardy got drafted to Raw. And Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens got drafted to SmackDown. Any interesting remarks on that, Kaliko?
Daniel Bryan to SmackDown was kind of a given because he doesn't. I mean, they're
He's
not
already on
traveling. It's not
SmackDown.
like he. I mean, yeah, he's already there. Kevin Owens.
Talk
Interesting.
about somebody
because
that's in a rut.
You say what?
Talk about somebody that's in a rut.
Yeah, and he's good. It's just a matter. He's just been floating in and out. Now, Alistair's on SmackDown.
I was just gonna say, did they flip Alistair black?
Yeah, they flipped Alistair, so that shit's gonna continue.
Good.
But to me, Kevin is like the guy who could really be that top guy. He's been there, and I don't know. It's because he's outspoken.
I think it's because he's outspoken.
He's outspoken and he speaks his mind.
The Vince doesn't like. He wants yes men,
And I think it's probably that, but to me, there's
and the chubbiness. He's chubby.
No doubt about his talent.
Oh, absolutely.
So to me, SmackDown, Roman needs contenders, and
big time.
And the two people that I was thinking of off the rip, who?
The Fiend, yeah.
The Fiend is on Raw. So Roman needs contenders. So the first two names that popped out of my head was Big E, Kevin Owens. Those were the first two people.
Big E, yeah, that would be good.
That popped in my head as far as contenders after Jay, because we all know Jay. As much as we love Jay,
that's already old to me, man.
As much as I love Jay, and as much as I like this storyline personally, because nothing gets more personal than family.
I think it's the worst of I know why it's Jay. I'm just saying I think it's the worst of the two Usos. Just me personally, though,
And to me, I like that, but to me, it feels like you kind of know where it's going. Vice Kevin Owens, yeah, you kind of know where it's going, but KO can beat him. I mean, we've seen him beat him. It's not like Jay, where it's kind of like he's always been the little brother and he had to come up. Kevin can actually say, hey, I beat this guy. And I've done it before and I'll do it again. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But that's until Goldberg comes up.
Oldberg.
And I can't even say shit. Bill Goldberg, because he's a former Bulldog, damn it. I'm going to give him his proper respect. And Atlanta Falcon at that. Bill Goldberg, till he comes in the picture, because he's already been hinting at
call him Gold Check.
Going after Roman in the future.
What about Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy coming to Raw? it seems like Jeff Hardy's always did better on SmackDown. And Matt Riddle's maybe not proven yet on SmackDown.
I would have kept Riddle on SmackDown, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, aside from a few others in that one, honestly, since, like, 2018 or so, the draft, like, the rosters have switched so many times, I've kind of lost track.
Honestly, Matt got flipped on the Raw because Seth went to SmackDown. Yeah,
maybe.
You know damn well what happened.
That might be it.
That's why he went to Raw, because Seth went to SmackDown and was like, nah, take his ass away.
But a Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins feud would be awesome.
Well, considering what happened in real life, yeah.
I know, but the best feuds are based on real life.
Exactly, but Seth ain't gonna go there.
Seth ain't man. Fuck.
Seth ain't he ain't gonna let that shit fly. Fuck that.
But it's okay. That's the problem with this generation. The old generation would have seen that, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin or a Mr. Perfect. They would have seen that and said, "Fuck it, let's make some money, dude. Let's take advantage of it." You know, they would have. They would have. If they saw dollar signs that they could make money from that shit, they'd say, I don't give a fuck, let's do it.
Yeah.
They would, dude.
But
that's
now
their fucking calling is sports entertainers.
But it's a whole different world now than
completely different world. That's what I'm saying. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
No, dude, like in 2004 when I was getting into wrestling, it was literally and that was just 2004, which is 16 years ago. That was the Wild West. Like nothing. Steroids were almost a mandatory thing. You almost had to do steroids. Like it was bad. It was really bad, and it's just completely changed now.
But the only reason I say it wouldn't, because I don't think Seth is of the person. He's the type of person where he'd be like, I will not let you make yourself off of me, in no matter
what
like
Brock
aspect.
And Goldberg said to Matt Riddle.
Yeah, so that's where I think it lies. I think it lies more on Seth than Matt, because Matt don't give a fuck. I mean, you could tell.
He doesn't want to reward that behavior. I get what you're saying.
Right. So, yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
I'm just saying, the old mentality would notice that and say, oh, shit, there's a market for this. Fuck. Well, if I can make some money, I'll find a way around it. You know what I mean? Or they would try to find a way around it.
I see your point. I see your point, but I think...
Because that was the old Stone Cold Steve Austin mentality back in the day. That's what he thought.
But I think Seth is like, this motherfucker ain't even worthy.
If there's a chance to make money, then you gotta suck it up and be a man about it. Yeah.
In round
Seth's gonna be like,
I'm just saying that was how Austin dealt with it back in the day, though.
Yeah,
and
back
other
in the
people,
day.
like Bret Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
In round 3, Retribution, Keith Lee, and Alexa Bliss got drafted to Raw, and Lar Sullivan and King Corbin got drafted to SmackDown.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. It was just basically SmackDown is traded to Raw, and Raw is traded to SmackDown. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, you're basically right.
Wow.
Yeah, in essence. But the person that sticks out to me here
they are creatively fucking bankrupt.
The person that Keith Lee, to me, is what sticks out in this round.
Of course. And Keith Lee's the fucking shit, dude.
No, I'm talking about his potential, because now... he had the match with Braun.
I hope he's a champion soon, dude.
That tells me that they got more planned for Keith Lee than what we think.
I think they do.
And that to me speaks.
Vince wouldn't have cared about his fucking music if he didn't see big things in him.
Exactly.
I really don't think he would have.
Do you think we might see a Keith Lee Matt Riddle tag team?
No, do a tag team. He's a single star. Both of them are, in my opinion. But I could see Matt Riddle in a tag team before Keith Lee.
True.
I don't know. It just depends on the team, too.
In round 4, Elias, Lacey Evans, and Sheamus got drafted to Raw.
Elias.
And Sami Zayn, Nakamura, and Cesaro got drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, and basically just a trader show.
Did you say Macklemore? Like the rapper?
Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Oh, Nakamura. It sounded like he said Macklemore. I was like, wait, what?
One show,
The
one
rapper?
show.
I'm gonna pop some.
Gonna
tags.
fight like the city
Only got $20 in
moon.
my
Hey, no, we don't want
pocket.
to get sued. Okay.
Back to the moment.
Hey, that song was jamming. The city
That was
camp.
a fire song.
That
when it
shit
first
was
came
a
out.
jam.
That was a fire song when it first came out.
That was a goddamn jam right there, boy. Anyway, Nakamura.
Just Macklemore himself's a little bit of a weirdo, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, it is what it is.
He makes music. What do you expect?
Exactly. Three Hollywood types, yeah.
I'm actually excited to see Sheamus on Raw because I think we might get some good rivalries out of him. He's been.
We're just gonna see the old SmackDown shows on Raw and the old Raw shows on SmackDown. I mean, you gotta shake it up more than that. You need to, you gotta shake up the matchups. You need fresh matchups. So that doesn't they just, like I said, they just traded shows. They don't have really that many fresh matchups.
Lacey could be a wild card.
A what?
A wild card on Raw. Honestly, it sounds like they're just trying to beef up that women's division for fucking Asuka to run
Did they
through.
reveal who the vignette of the lady and the blonde lady and the heels was?
Carmella.
It was Carmella. Okay.
Everybody thought it was Summer Rae. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
No,
you?
you know what I heard at the last minute? Eva Marie coming back.
Yeah. So,
and that would have fit her. So.
Yeah, that would have fit her.
It would have absolutely fit her.
As long as it wasn't Emma. Because I felt like...
But funny enough, Emma's the finest one out of all.
Because I feel like that don't fit her style. But
no, she's more humble about it, yeah. I like that.
But,
I think that's cute. Not cute. I think that's attractive.
You're talking about Tennille Dashwood, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She dropped that gimmick. She didn't want the high heels dress gimmick.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't.
That's what we said. We said it didn't fit her.
What we're saying is she's a beautiful woman who doesn't.
She's a beautiful woman who's a grinder.
Yes, she doesn't flaunt it. She doesn't use it for her benefit. She tries to. She does her hard work and she puts that forward. And she knows she's a beautiful woman, but she doesn't. Like I said, she doesn't flaunt it. She doesn't rub it in people's faces.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, she seems more.
She's more humble.
More humility. There you go.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Round 5, Nikki Cross, R-Truth, and Dabba-Kato all got drafted to Raw.
Wait, was Dabba-Kato the underground guy?
Yes.
That was the guy I said Baba Tunde. Okay, sorry.
He's had a lot of names, honestly.
I thought his name was...
As long as you didn't call him Boba Fett.
Baba Tunde.
I think he was Baba Tunde at one point.
He was. I remember when I first saw him on the Raw Underground, he was Baba Tunde.
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode and Apollo Crews all got drafted to SmackDown. Is this the death sentence for Apollo Crews?
No, I see ring. He could be in an IC title.
I mean,
title picture.
It just all depends on what side of the bed Vince woke up on, I guess, you know.
And the only reason I say that because Sami Zayn is such a beatable guy as a character.
He's been he's been doing Shawn Michaels heel wins, you know.
Yeah, but that's why I say it fits Apollo perfectly.
Right.
That program could fit him perfectly because you know damn well Apollo should win. However, Sammy finds some kind of bullshit way to get it out.
1993-94 Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
And it kind of seems like they're lumping Dolph Ziggler with Robert Roode again, and it seems like
who?
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And it kind of
I haven't seen Robert Roode around in a while. I was wondering where he was.
You know,
I think he's being underused.
It seemed like he could have had like a little singles run against McIntyre, but that was dropped like immediately.
Yeah.
It was just meant to get him back on the scene.
I guess. Did you hear Rusev, like a couple weeks ago, he was talking on a podcast and he revealed that Lana and what's her name from the Riot Squad? Liv Morgan, that gimmick where they did the lesbian thing. It was literally just out of nowhere, and it was for that night only. They didn't have a plan going forward.
And that, honestly, that rivalry could have skyrocketed Liv Morgan, but
Oh, absolutely, it would have.
oh, absolutely. But you know,
She completely lost her career through that. Like, I really believe that. Like, she was on her way to be a high. I think she would have been done really well for herself personally, but we'll never get to see. That's unfortunate.
in round 6, Titus O'Neil, Peyton Royce, and Akira Tozawa all got drafted to Raw. Carmella and Aleister Black are on SmackDown. Peyton Royce is the standout in this one because she kind of got, she's on different shows with Billie Kay now.
If they split them up for a team, they gotta split them up on brands. They gotta.
Titus O'Neil still in the league. That's my man.
And
Still has a job.
just skidding by, right?
Yeah, not gonna
But,
be. I saw so much potential in Titus, and it seemed like they were giving him a tough.
back in maybe 8 years ago, he's like almost 50 now.
He's almost 50.
He's 40 something. Yeah.
Damn.
He's like 45, 46, 48. I think he's higher at 40s, to be honest. He's like 48.
And
he's like a good decade older than me. So.
Round 7, which was on Raw Talk, was Lana, Riddick Moss, and Arturo Rujas all drafted.
Who?
Arturo Rujas, one of the underground guys.
Arturo Rojas.
I haven't heard of him.
Rojas, thank you. All got drafted.
I haven't heard of him.
You gotta roll the R's, man.
I've never heard of him unless he was an independent guy under another name.
You know, I can't roll my own R's for some reason.
Was he an independent guy under a different name that I would know him under?
Not that I know of.
I don't know who that is.
Natalya and the Riot Squad to SmackDown. Any standouts for you guys?
Oh, real quick, I was just gonna say
Wait a minute, you just glossed over the facts.
You said and you glossed over Peyton. I was gonna bring up real quick Peyton Royce. You brought up.
Oh,
Billie Kay. I think Billie Kay's the better, in my opinion. I think she's the better of that too. But
well, sometimes it's not who's the better wrestler per se, but who has the more marketability.
Personality, yeah. I think Billie Kay has one hell of a marketability.
I think it's just a matter of time, and you know.
I think she fits a niche market no other no other women wrestler has. Black hair, looks like Elvira from back in the day. I think she covers a niche. Or she covers something that another girl is not. You know what I mean? Like, she's unique.
Yeah, kind of like Ruby Riot's unique.
And
she's really unique, and that helps her out big time.
That's what I'm saying. I like that.
Yeah, it does. To me, those people stick out. Like, for a while before Becky Lynch got popular, to me she stuck out because her accent and the red hair, and she was just, same way with Baylay. She was kind of goofy, but you knew, certain things you could see pop out.
I like her. I think she's cute. But I see marketability in Billie Kay. I see it in Peyton Royce too. I'm just saying I don't see how Peyton Royce is getting put on this pedestal out of nowhere. Like, I think Billie Kay is just as marketable. I really do.
Mainly probably because she got the high flyer style out of the two. At best, I'm not saying that she is.
Know. I really
but
don't know. You know what? People are speculating it is. Why? You know why? The people are saying because it's the blonde.
I was about to say, you better not say because of Aries Spears or Sean Spears.
Vince loves the blondes.
Alright, I think we already kind of summed
I mean,
this.
Lana is the number one contender. That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Number one
Thank
contender,
you.
Lana. Fucking James,
And,
don't
yeah,
you forget
right?
that, sir. Number one
Thank you. You
contender
just proved
for
my
the
point for
women's
me, dude.
title, Lana.
Proved my
But she
point
earned
for
it.
me.
She earned it taking them table bumps. She
Did
earned
she,
the
though?
shit. She went through like the table like I felt like 8 months in a row.
So taking a bump earns you a title now?
No, not saying that.
I'm just
but
saying.
If there was ever
There
a
should be a higher bar.
it should be a higher bar. But hey, I mean,
For a
MJF got a
championship
title.
winner, especially.
MJF got a title shot after beating Cody. So I mean, anything can happen.
True.
I think we kind of already went there, but as a whole, this draft is
It was just a flip flop.
yes.
Let's just
Like
call
I
it
said,
flip-flop.
it was just trading shows.
It's a flip-flop.
Trading spaces. Raw and SmackDown edition.
Although I just feel like if Rude and Zig, I feel like Raw gets the bigger names, but SmackDown is like that. It's like that $5 when your meal is $6 and you gotta make it enough. I feel like SmackDown kind of makes it enough.
Okay, you know what? I think I know. Well, but I think it's always weird that like even now, Raw is still put on a pedestal, and you're like, but doesn't Fox give them more money? No, NBC Universal owns USA. They give a lot more money than you would think. So that's I think they edge out Fox, in fact. So I think that's why it's still like that.
Yeah, but I feel like SmackDown makes their storylines are better.
Oh, way better. It's been like that.
Yeah, way better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's way
it's been like that
better.
for almost a year.
So it's been like that for like 3 years. I feel like,
At least solid years.
But to me, it just shows you like the fact that they're willing to put lesser names there shows you that it's more of a development of the characters and the stories. And then when
I hope they return to that finally.
And then when they get to Raw is kind of like a larger than life type of thing, if that makes sense. Like Raw tries to make themselves feel like the characters are more important than the stories. Vice SmackDown, it's like the stories are more important than the character.
And I feel like the Raw's way of doing it, like they start something and then they just out of nowhere stop it and they don't follow through. Like a lot of things, they'll just drop it midway like that. Like the Lana and Liv Morgan thing back in the day. But there's other examples for now of them still doing that.
Yeah.
What?
So that might attribute to that. So yeah.
We will conclude our coverage of the WWE Draft. Hashtag LOL. I'm sure.
A brand split, LOL.
Brand split, LOL.
Brand split.
I feel like NXT should have been included.
Ha! Brand split. Ha!
Because think about it. They spent a whole year making them their equal. So that's why I think they should have kind of counted.
And again, we'll conclude our coverage. And we are wrestling with New Japan G1 Climax 30.
Yeah.
I wish I'd put money on this now.
You know what's funny? The field is clear. Yeah, we know what we wrestling with, Jake. No, just I'm just fucking with you. But yeah,
I wish in hindsight that I had put money on my prediction.
But yeah, the G1 it's getting to the end. Now we know where people stand, or where the field is clear now.
Or where they've fallen.
Like last week, it was mucky as fuck. 2 weeks ago, it was even muckier.
I feel like the majority of the field on both brackets got started with like 1-1, a lot of 1-1s. Like, you know what I mean? Like 1 loss, one win, back to back.
Put it like this: we thought Tai Chi and Yano was about to be in.
Oh my God! Well, Tai Chi's still a possibility. I think.
No, it's not anymore.
No, it's not a
Not, thank God.
Not anymore.
Thank
Not
God.
Well,
Hallelujah.
it literally like flipped back to earth big time.
Thank fucking God.
Big time. It was like, okay, that's enough. Get your asses back.
Okay, God hasn't abandoned us quite yet. That's good to hear.
I guess they heard us boycotting the G1 over it. And like, fuck it. Scrap plans.
I don't think we were necessarily the only ones, Kaliko.
I'm sure we weren't.
Like,
yeah.
scrap the plans. They're on us. All right, let's go.
Tomorrow is the final day. I was not a good podcast host, and I did not watch the last 3 days because of English commentary not coming up. I don't know. Somewhere in
You
there
don't
off
need
I missed a
commentary
day.
to watch the wrestling.
Sometimes you just gotta fuck the English.
Yeah, so I used to purposely
English.
ignore the commentary.
When it comes to the G1, you kind of gotta like fuck the commentary because it only matters.
Yeah.
It only matters towards the end of the G1. The end of the G1 it matters.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you need to know who needs what to win, and that's an important
Yeah, you get
aspect.
to see what's happening. You don't need to understand.
I'm talking about the Final Four, not even talking about who the fuck gonna make it. We kind of gotta.
They usually put it on the big screen of what's happening.
They don't, honestly.
Some usually like who's fighting in like what part of the tournament it's in. Yeah, usually they do.
Well, at the beginning of the tour, I didn't watch with English commentary because it took them too long. But now
who is doing English commentary?
Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rocky Romero does. But I liked it better with what the fuck is his name? He's
Gino
in NWA
Gambino.
now, but no, not Dino Gambino.
Gino Gambino.
Not Gino Gambino.
Charlie.
He was
Charles something.
He's within NWA now. I can't think of his fucking name. The Kenny Omega Homer.
Oh, Don Callis.
There you go, Don Callis. I liked it better with Kevin Kelly and Don Callis. Kevin Kelly and Don Callis were the best English commentators for New Japan.
Jackal from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, so to me, those two were the best, like, as far as a pairing for English. So that's why I really didn't care that much about English commentary.
Now, obviously a lot has happened in this G1. What are your... And tomorrow is the last day that we will be covering next week. We'll be covering the last 3 days next week. How do you feel that this G1 went, considering, Corona happened, limited roster, matchups, etc. Kaliko?
I feel like they did what they did in the first half of the G1 to get Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I don't know. That's weird.
Everything just blacked out. I thought my power went out.
I felt like the mafia was coming. The G1 mafia was coming after me. But Roppongi Vice is coming after. But
I have to say Yakuza once a show.
Exactly. But the first half of the G1 was to get the eyeballs on it. Because when you looked last thing, see, they're trying to get me. Because when you look at the G1 and you look at the field the last thing you would have saw after the first 3 weeks would have been like Tai Chi and Yano at the top.
Oh my god, I know.
So it was like the eyeball of the year type shit.
That was
and it was
frustrating
like,
me. I didn't want to watch that shit. It was
people's blood pressure was rising.
Yeah, that was pissing me off.
But as the G1
they have him go with
progressed,
Sonata. What the fuck are they thinking?
as the G1 progressed, the real contenders showed up at the end, and now we already know. Well, James doesn't know, but we know who the finalist or who has the best shot of getting it.
Yeah.
So, for James' sake, I will go over this. In the A block, the only 4 people that can make it is either Kota Ibushi, Jay White, Okada Rainmaker, and Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay needs help because he needs Kota or Jay to lose because he owns the tiebreaker over Jay, obviously.
Okay.
So Ospreay needs some help, but he's there. He needs to win his match and needs some, Ibushi and or Jay White to lose. So that's how that goes. Block B, Naito. It's Naito, Evil, and on the outside you got Zack Sabre Jr. and Sonata, but they need Evil or Naito to kind of slip, but I feel like
Sonata made a comeback then.
I feel like Sonata would need Naito to slip because Sonata owns the tiebreaker.
Do we have the finish of B block? Is B block determined already, or is that tomorrow or today?
It's today.
Okay, so we haven't watched that. There's no spoilers if we say things.
Not that I know. Now, don't quote me, boy, because I ain't say shit. But
Sonata has a good chance
of in the hood.
Considering he started from where he started, the fact he has a chance is a fucking miracle in itself. Because that dude got shitted on. He lost to Yoshi, bro.
And then the next day he beats Naito.
And then the next day he beats Naito. Think about that. Like, that's a fucking roller coaster.
They're both fucking jokes.
You lose to Yoshi, and then the next night you beat the number 1 guy in New Japan. Like, God damn it, man.
It's not every day that New Japan does something that makes absolute no sense. Right?
But I feel like Sonata's path was Naito's path last year. In a sense that because Sonata can sometimes get to the point where he's not taking people seriously.
Well, he came back strong. It seemed like he was more on fire than he usually is. Those first couple nights.
Yeah, but being on fire and that resulting in the wins is 2 totally different things. True. Shit, the Miami Heat was on fire. That didn't mean that they were going to win the fucking game. So, I mean, that's where Sonata was. But I think he did his best with his back against the wall. And the fact he got more points than Yoshihashi, and the fact that Yoshihashi's last, makes my fucking heart swell like no other. But yeah, Sonata's still there. Zack Saber's still there. I feel like they have the shot, but I feel like Naito and Evil is going to be the guys that make it out that block anyway. My issue is more with who's going to be the gaijin between Jay White and Will Ospreay, because I feel like Ibushi's the defending champ. They always put the defending champ to at least make the finals.
Right.
It's who's going to be that second person to fight Ibushi in the semifinals. And that's where I think, as much as we love Okada, I don't think he's going to make it. I think it's going to be either Jay White or Will Ospreay.
You just spoiled it. I know that Okada didn't make it. You said that already.
No, he's in third place. He's 6-2. So hypothetically, he could make it.
But he did look, yeah.
It's just the point that I don't think, because it's very rare. Like the last 5 years, they always had a Gaijin make it some point. So that kind of puts Okada in this odd box where we know it's going to be Jay White or Will Ospreay because of the simple fact that those two are the only two Gaijins that actually have the shot to make it out of the block. So that's why I say Okada's out. It's not because of his skill, but it's because I'm using common fucking sense on how they've been booking this shit the last 4 years.
Well, first things first, you can't use common sense when talking about the G1. Case in point, Yano. The second thing to that is, yeah, Evil, obviously he has to have a strong showing because, double champion a couple months ago. But, do you see, could you see Will Ospreay wrestling Evil in the finals?
That's where I think it would be a Jay White Evil final, and that's me personally because I feel like,
and it's kind of like they're building up to that as well.
Because I feel like Bullet Club has been underneath the radar when it comes to this shit, and considering that Jay White is supposedly the leader, yet Evil came in and kind of became the top guy, there's something to be settled there. And that's why I thought Jay White was going to win it. Because Jay White needs it to solidify himself as the undisputed leader of Bullet Club. And that's why I thought that's the story that I was sticking to with Jay White.
And we're definitely going to get an Evil versus Jay White match. But I don't think it's going to be in the finals simply because it's Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. And it's two heels. I mean, usually it's heel versus babyface or babyface versus babyface.
That is true, but if you had paid attention and watched, a certain person turned heel, and now there has to be a balance because, damn it, Jay, you're gonna make me spoil this, aren't you?
You better watch it, Kaliko.
Yeah, you're gonna make me, but hear me out. Just hear me out on this. And the only reason I say, yeah, I can see your point with the Bullet Club versus Bullet Club, but to me, that figuring out who the undisputed leader is would have more interest if it was for the right to fight the champion at G1. Does that make sense? Because both of them have a claim to it. Because Jay White was at Wrestle Kingdom last year. Evil literally was the man of the summer. He basically was like the Rona champ. And and there's something there. Like there's something there to where there could be some friction there. And that's where I think one of them are gonna have to go. And I don't think it's gonna be Evil.
Sonata still has a chance. If he beats Evil. He
Get the fuck out! Man, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm a Sonata fan, and I
They
know
shit
that.
on him so hardcore.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking Sonata fan, and that shit ain't happening. Come on, bro. Like,
I predicted he was gonna be a standout until I saw how milky of a shit he got taken.
Don't fucking tease us like that, James.
Yeah, don't we both like Sonata. We both think he's fucking badass.
Like,
We don't think he's being booked right.
Don't you dare disrespect my intelligence.
All right. I think we beat around the bush when it comes to the G1 enough, so we will conclude our coverage for now. Next week, spoiler free.
Don't just tap it, finger that shit.
All of the spoilers will be revealed.
Maybe James could pay attention and he would have been in on this shit, because I'm telling you right now, bro, wait till you see it. I'm just going to say that. You'll see it.
Okay.
That.
Yeah. That'll conclude the show for this week. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, vote on YouTube and Castbox. And if you want to join in the conversation, you can find... Thanks for that. You can find us all on Twitter, but don't tweet me about the G1. I am at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
I'm Kaliko. You can tweet me all about it, because I'm here for it. We at the end now, and thank God Toro Yano and Taichi were stuck with 6 and 8 points respectively. Thank God. And thank God Yoshi only got 1 win. But that's 1 win too much.
And where can they find Mitch?
Everyone Mitch Mayhem tweet me. Stop saying that shit. I tweet when I want to. Gosh damn it. Okay. I was waiting for you to say that.
Are you done with
your Mitch Mayhem X, if you want to get a hold of me, I guess. That's how you do it.
Alright. And for Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.